Kana's in the building. Alright, I'm ready. The show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun?
Hi, I hope you're doing well. We're starting out in the locker room this year. October newsletter. I do probably better behind the camera than in front of the camera, but I wanted everybody to see, now that we're officially in for a whole year, what your Virginia Tech wrestlers look at every day when they enter the Hokie wrestling locker room. Pretty good stuff here. I'm trying to do good, not be too herky-jerky here, but I know we get a lot of people that want to see facility stuff. We got even a little ESPN going on there. So there's the 360 virtual tour. Pretty good stuff. One thing, alumni, boosters, here's what we're looking for. We're looking for some people that might want to help us get your name, get some of your teammates together, and sponsor a locker. You're gonna be hearing about some stuff in the near future about sponsoring a locker. I think it's a great way to invest and a great way to get your name in the program forever, because these are sharp. They're going to be here for a while. I'll see you on the other side. Hi, this is Coach Yetzer. As I mentioned, we're going to shoot this first October newsletter video in the locker room. I know that's kind of weird, but that's all right. A lot of people want to see facilities, and you just saw a facility. I've got my clipboard. It's October 11th, Tuesday. It's our first day of practice according to the NCAA rules. So we're going to get after it here this afternoon. Obviously, we're real excited about the season. I've got some points that I need to cover. So I'm going to use my clipboard, looking like a coach. I got my Virginia Tech football hat on though. We're still pretty pumped up about Saturday night. If you saw that Miami game, you know what I'm talking about. What a great atmosphere. Probably the loudest I've ever seen Lane Stadium ever. I've been coming to these games since the 90s, so that's a pretty exciting environment. I've got my cage fighter wrestling gear on for two reasons. Number one, it's time to get tough, and number two, we get a ton of emails about people asking and inquiring about Virginia Tech wrestling gear. So the stuff's going to be up, I think, by the end of the week or the beginning of next week. There's supposed to be some warm weather stuff, new t-shirts. If you're a contributor to the Hokie Mat Club, there's going to be some polos, some stuff that you can get online, that you can get when you come to home matches. It's going to be out there and available. Hopefully that answered everybody's questions, because this time of year I do get a ton of emails about VT wrestling gear. So it's going to be up and ready to go here soon. To follow along with that, Tim Myers, our Hokie Mat Club president, last week sent out an email begging for money. And again, we apologize. We don't like to beg for money, but our Hokie Mat Club is our supporting entity to help us with volunteer coaches. Getting great workout partners in our room is a key to going to the next level, and we've got to continue to do that. We just hired Eric Morrill, who's a young guy from Edinboro University. You're going to get a chance to meet Eric real soon here. He's a little guy. He's been here since September. He's already making a huge difference. Hokie Mat Club helps in that arena quite a bit, as well as help with our current coaches. That's one thing we want to do to grow our program, is we want to continue to get good people in our program. Starting next year, we're actually going to have some graduates that are going to stick around. We want to continue to be able to keep them around, help them with some expenses. So that's my Hokie Mat Club spiel. So we need your help in that arena. October 28th and 29th is going to be some wrestle-offs here. We're going to have some wrestle-offs right here in our wrestling complex on the top floor of our new building, Friday night and Saturday. Some of them, a few of them will be for the final spot. However, a lot of them will just be to get guys a match the week before we open, to get guys down to weight or close to weight, so they kind of see what it feels like to put a singlet on, weigh in 1 hour, and get out there and have to compete. The following weekend, we open up, and that's what I really want to talk about. I want to employ you. I want your help. Not only November 5th when we open up against Campbell, but throughout the year. One thing we made big strides at last year, besides wrestling, was getting people involved. And that's important to us. That's important to our administration, I can tell you that. So November 5th is a great way to get started out. I'm challenging everybody to bring 10 new people to wrestling. If you went to the Salem Civic Center last year and you saw us open with Iowa State, I think you'll agree it was a great opener, a great venue, a great environment. So November 5th at the Salem Civic Center, 5 p.m. we open up. If you're a die-hard wrestling fan, the next day from 9 a.m. till roughly 6 p.m. Again, you've got to be a die-hard wrestling fan. The Hokie Open begins. Great competition, a lot of top-ranked guys there. Again, it's an all-day event. Saturday, however, you'll be in and out in an hour and a half. So again, as you can see, I'm trying to get a lot of new people in the building, and I need your help. I need you, if you got a high school team, get your high school team and your coach involved. High school coaches are going to get an email on how they can get involved and how they can get some benefits for their team and their members. There's going to be a clinic and free t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. So that's the first weekend. For this first video newsletter, Coach Robie is going to talk about our lineup. He's going to go from 125 to heavyweight and kind of give you his take or our take on where those weight classes are right now. I caution you and I remind you, though, it is still October and we don't get down to the nitty-gritty till really till February, March. So obviously a lot of things can change. We have a lot of question marks every year, and it seems to be this year we have more. But I think they're good question marks, and so it's going to be exciting to see who develops and who's going to be in there once we get to 2012. Coach Yetzer is going to actually talk about our schedule and some of the events we're going to. I'm excited about that, but I want to get these guys involved, and I want you to hear their perspective as well. In closing, my thoughts on this year. If you're a fan and you're watching Virginia Tech wrestling this year, my impression early is going to be that we are probably going to be a little weak on paper, maybe till we get to 2012 in January. You know, we're going to do some experimenting. We've got a couple opens. We're not going to, we're not going to jeopardize a young guy's red shirt or somebody that we're thinking about redshirting until we evaluate some performances. Luckily, we opened the first 2 weekends with 2 open events. Of course, the Hokie Open, and then the following weekend we're going to Raleigh for the North Carolina State Open. So after those first 2 weekends, that's going to really kind of be our wrestle off to see where everybody shakes out at and to see who's going to be our guy at that weight class as the year goes on. We will redshirt some really good guys this year, I can tell you that right now, just because we need them to develop and we feel like we've got the depth at those weights to compete. So stay tuned. We're excited to see what goes on, and feel free to give me an email and give me some input on our video email of October. Thank you.